Hey, let's do the thing.
Oh man. Hey everybody. I'm twizzled up and I can't hear Mike's fan. Hi Mike.
Are we actually recording now?
Yeah, we're actually
Okay.
we were actually recording last time too.
I didn't know. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Mike.
I'm Chris.
This has started off in just fucking spectacular fashion.
Oh man. How are you doing?
I am doing all right.
I literally, like 20 minutes ago, got home from the first showing of Days of Future Past.
How was it?
We'll talk about it in detail when you see it, but here's my traditional non-spoiler Mike didn't see the fucking movie yet review. You know what would help you see the movie? If everybody here would subscribe to Man in Suit Comics on Patreon.
It would. It would help me a lot if you would go to patreon.com/manandsuitcomics and pledge for free digital comics every month. Well, it wouldn't be free if you would be pledging, but you'd be helping us continue to make awesome comics for your entertainment.
Is it $1 per month or $1 per comic?
It's $1 per month.
It says $1 per comic on the Patreon.
Well, we only release the comics once a month, so it'd be
$1 a month.
$1 a month. 3 gets you access to our secret blog, which has like script excerpts and sort of progression drawings of panels in the comics. And then
do you know what it would be if you sold corn? Do you know what it would be if you sold corn?
Be a buccaneer.
Buccaneer.
Where's your... God damn it. Where's your buccaneers, little pirate? They're on my bucking head, you bucking idiot. Then there's the $5 level, which gets you the comics, the access to the secret blog, and I will start doing, if anyone signs up, I will start doing a monthly art stream for subscribers only. So please go there and sign up. It would be greatly appreciated.
And it makes sure Mike can seize these movies.
I can see. We are...
I need more soda. It says something that we just kicked off the podcast with like 2 of the lamest pirate jokes you can come up with. Although I still think my favorite lame pirate joke is the pirate with a steering wheel on his belt.
I don't think I've heard that one.
Oh man, a pirate walks into a bar and he's got a steering wheel on his belt and the bartender says, "What's up with that?" And the pirate says, "I don't know, but it's driving me nuts."
Jesus. That's not even really a pirate joke. That could be an anything joke.
It doesn't work if it's not saying it in the pirate voice. Driving me nuts. The pirate... Shut up, Mike.
You'd just be a British guy.
Shut the fuck up, Mike.
An Irishman.
I'll say, old chap, I'm not quite sure, but it is steering my genitals.
Does look to be directing my genitals. Quite right, yes.
These British should be on the other side. It's be driving his ass, and then it's a gay joke.
Is this a podcast?
We're no less credible than some of the other podcasts out there.
I guess. So anyway, you had like a short...
Not scripted at all. We can guarantee that.
You had a short review of Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past.
And don't worry about spoiling it for me because it's already spoiled.
How is it already spoiled?
It's an X-Men movie. It was spoiled before it was made.
So, actually, no. I think even you'll be pleasantly surprised by this. It's at its core and primarily, like 90% of the movie is a sequel to First Class.
Okay.
The Bryan Singer X-Men characters do show up 3 or 4 times, but really kind of scarcely. And the characters we were complaining about would just be cameos or used very well to the point where I don't feel they were underused or overused. They were utilized very well. This was a very well put together X-Men movie.
Huh.
It is, at its core, to give you an idea how much of a First Class sequel it is, there's really only 2 like major skirmishes between Xavier and Magneto throughout the course of the movie. And in both of those skirmishes, Wolverine is somehow incapacitated so that Wolverine is not the focus of the fight.
Tommy left his morpher in his bag and can't
Tommy left his morpher? I'm sorry, Charles. I was out in the woods practicing with my katana, bub.
These gray guys came out and they tied me to a tree.
Look out, Kimberly. Oh, you smell good.
I'll give you my adamantium claw. Shink.
Shunk. So I mean, it did serve the purpose of basically by the end of this movie, X-Men: The Last Stand and X-Men Origins Wolverine just never happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, like by the end of the movie, just never happened.
Is it part of the whole like time travel deal, where it's like it
Yes.
undoes all the shit that happened in those movies?
Yes.
Giving
So
them a
here's
way to make a Deadpool movie because now Deadpool's not that weird monster that he was at the end of Wolverine.
this is where I'm confused too. I don't know where it's gonna go going forward because it is left open in a way where the next sequel could be a first class sequel, but it could just as easily be a sequel to the Bryan Singer franchise. I wonder if maybe they'll both go on in some capacity, or if they'll alternate them or something.
If
So I basically
it's X-Men, so yes, they will both continue to go on as their own individual timelines.
it's a shame too because as I was sitting there in the beginning of the movie watching it, it occurred to me that they could have really got a leg up on this whole giant universe thing, and they could have topped Avengers. They have a franchise big enough to do it, and they've just shit it all over. Just fuck it.
I don't know that they have a franchise that has been successful enough. I mean, look at all the movies leading into Avengers. They were all fairly well received and made a lot of money, where the X-Men movies have not been as well received.
For their time, the X-Men movies did very well. They could have definitely got a leg up and set a standard.
But I don't know that they were.
You've got to remember when the X-Men movies came out. They were characters that not a terrible lot of people were familiar with. This is a time when the only successful quote-unquote comic book movie you had was Blade.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
But it's like still at the same time though, like 3 came out and everyone was going, eh.
No, 3 never happened now. Don't worry about
3
it.
never happened now?
3 never happened now.
Did one and 2 happen?
Presumably.
So
Well, no.
all the ones that the fans didn't like, even though I still say that 3 was the best of that first trilogy.
Oh, wait a minute. Am I permitted to spoil the movie for you?
Like I said, I don't care.
Okay. 2 may not have happened entirely as it was planned because at the end of the movie, Jean Grey is alive.
Oh, Jesus.
As is Cyclops.
Of course.
I will say this. So, he's Jean, and walking. He's because here's how it happens. In the future,
Of course, Jean's
Sentinels are
alive. Of goddamn course. She comes back.
So,
God damn it.
so they have basically the mutants are hiding out. What they've figured out is they've figured out a way for Kitty Pryde of all people to send somebody back in time a few days to a few weeks. Their consciousness. So basically, what happens is the Sentinels attack. When they spot the Sentinels, everybody kind of holds the Sentinels off while Kitty and Bishop run to this room at the back and lock themselves in, and Kitty sends Bishop back in the past, and Bishop shows up in the past and goes, hey, we're about to get fucked up, and they go hide somewhere else. And so they're talking about the possibility of maybe like sending Professor Xavier back to the past so he can stop the Sentinels from existing, because what happens is Mystique is going to kill Peter Dinklage's character, Bolivar Trask. And this is, Bolivar Trask is trying to get the Sentinels made. The government is saying, no, this is kind of fucked up. And then Mystique kills him, and the government goes, shit, maybe we do need these things, leading to the mutants being eradicated in the future, as well as humans, when the Sentinels start targeting humans who have the potential to have offspring at some point in time, in any point in time, that are mutants. Very dark. Very fucked up.
The Sentinels are also able to comprehend alternate timelines?
No. Just like, they were like, they could detect if they were going to have kids, or grandkids, or great-grandkids.
Oh, so if the X gene is at all present within them.
Mm-hmm. So, and that results in because then what they do is they capture Mystique in the past as well, and they use her power. They basically dissect her and use what they learned from her powers to upgrade the Sentinels, and now the Sentinels can evolve and adapt to any attack, basically making them unstoppable. Resulting in an opening sequence where every one of the X-Men are killed, but it's okay because Bishop goes back in the past and they don't really die. Because time travel.
Because time travel.
Because time travel.
Fuck,
I hate time travel
I
movies.
do too.
Because at the end I always go, but wait, now this didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
So he didn't, so I just try not to think about it. I just try not to think about it. So, as I was saying, they eventually decide Wolverine's like, well, because they say they can't send Professor Xavier back in time because, she's like a few weeks to a month. By the way, I have no fucking clue why it's Kitty Pryde who has this ability.
Yeah, in
They
any
don't explain it.
iteration of the comics, has she had any time travel ability?
Nope. They don't explain it. They just, yeah, Kitty can do this. Oh, okay. Cool. So, they're like, we're gonna send Professor Xavier back. She's like, I mean, weeks, months, cool. You're talking decades. Your mind will be ripped apart. And Wolverine's like, my mind can heal, and I'm like, that's a little bullshit, isn't it?
I wish it were, but that actually has like some sort of precedent.
It does make sense, unfortunately, in the context.
The motherfucker flew into the sun and was able to survive.
I'm always reminded of that story they did. I think it was in Civil War where Wolverine got blown up. Oh, by the way, we're spoiling Days of Future Past. Don't listen to this. Skip ahead a bit. We'll stop talking about it eventually. I'm always reminded of that Civil War story where he got blown up down to just like a little bitty bit and regenerated from that.
Yeah, there was like enough. I think it was the same thing when it was in the end of New X-Men when they were getting rid of it and just making it X-Men again. Mm-hmm. When Zorn was Magneto, but not really.
Zorn's Magneto, but here's another Zorn that's not Magneto, but looks exactly like him. But that's not really Zorn because this Zorn is.
And also that other Magneto that thought he was Zorn, but then it was Magneto. It was also not really Magneto. Just some weird character that we pulled out of our asses. But
also Jean Grey's still alive.
In that one, it was Jean and Wolverine were in this shuttle that was headed towards the sun. And when it got close enough, they burned alive, and then the shuttle crashes back to Earth, and Wolverine comes out, and Jean died, but there was like enough left of Wolverine when it got past the sun to regenerate.
Didn't Jean come out of that one somehow too?
No, she that was another one of her deaths, but it was not long after that they did the what is it, like the other Dark Phoenix thing.
Oh yeah, where the Phoenix like took on her form or whatever.
Right. And they were like, Jean, you're back! Yay, again! And she was like, I'm not really Jean, I'm just a fucking demon.
She is still considered dead in universe. She'll be back one day.
She is back. They have past Jean.
Oh, right, that bullshit.
Yeah, when Matt and I saw the trailer for that when we did finally go see Spider-Man, then I was saying that it's just it's bringing the convoluted bullshit of the comics into the movie universe and confusing it. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, this time travel bullshit, it's the reason we have 3 fucking beasts in the comic now. He's like, we have 3?
Dark Beast doesn't count. He's from the Age of Apocalypse.
He counts. He's an alternate timeline beast, so he's still fucking beast.
There are 2 beasts in this movie, but one's only in there for a cameo at the end.
Is he still,
Yeah, it's still Kelsey Grammer in costume and everything. I was really impressed they got him to come back and do that cameo.
It's not like he's doing anything.
That Fraser money's going to run out eventually.
Yeah.
So,
he's like, hey, Brian, I need a quick $1 million. Can you make another X-Men film?
So, yeah. They send Wolverine back to the past, and from there it's a first-class movie. And from there on, it's actually really good, because it's a first-class sequel. And then Wolverine wakes back up in the present day, and he's the only one that remembers anything, and he's a professor at the school, and he sees, Jean, you're alive! Oh, Jean! And she's all like, you're kind of freaking me out, dude! He's Jean! Oh! Because Wolverine, that's all he knows how to say. Jean!
Well, if she doesn't know who he is, then that happened before the first movie.
Well, no, the first movie still happened, because one of the last things Wolverine said to Professor Xavier in the past was, hey, make sure you find us, because we're going to kind of need you.
But if she doesn't know who he is, then it didn't happen. They didn't meet.
No, she knows who he is. He's just freaking her out. He's all, Jean, and she's all like, are you okay? Jean! She's
chill,
like, no,
bro.
Seriously, are you okay? He goes up, he goes to put her hand on her face, and Cyclops, like, swats his hand away and goes, what are you doing, dude? And the audience fucking claps. Cyclops shows up, and the audience fucking claps.
Huh.
I was like, I did not expect you people to give a shit about this character.
Yeah, I would figure that would result in resounding groans like this prick again.
Oh. So, that happens, and then Professor Xavier's like, don't you got to teach a class? He's like, teach class on what? He's like, history. He's like, I'm going to need you to help me with everything after 1973. And Xavier's like, oh, it's you. Wolverine's like, yeah, no, seriously, could you, what the fuck? What happened?
It's like, no, that whole, yeah, the Weapon X thing, I kind of forgot all that shit.
Yeah. So, they have basically picked and chosen the decent parts of the X-Men franchise today. And will somehow be incorporated. And then there was the stinger after the movie, teasing Apocalypse and the Four Horsemen for the next one.
Oh, good. So we get the Age of Apocalypse.
Excuse me.
We get
I'm just
the Age of Apocalypse.
imagining the next one starts off with him in like a similar situation as Days of Future Past. Wolverine's like, so do I need to go back to the 70s again? Or send me to the 80s maybe?
You need to go back to the 80s and keep Marvel from making Apocalypse as a character.
We sent Wolverine to 2007. What's he gonna do there? Hey, bub, I want to be an Avenger.
I want to go to the successful movie franchise.
I want to jump ship to that franchise. But good movie. The first class bits are the best bits, obviously. The stuff with Singer's original franchise is not as strong or as interesting, but still very cool, very stylish, very well done. I think you'll ultimately... You liked First Class, right?
Oh, I loved First Class.
I think you'll ultimately enjoy it then. They do also explain what happened to the First Class mutants that don't show up in Days of Future Past.
So what, all the heel ones that...
The heel ones and a few of the face ones.
I like using wrestling terms to describe the X-Men.
Yeah, so they're super dead.
They're not just dead, they're super dead.
They're super dead. But that's what motivates Mystique. She finds out Trask killed them to basically build the Sentinels.
So they were like guinea pigs or something?
Mm-hmm. Which is funny to think that Peter Dinklage managed to kill that guy who teleported and killed like all of the CIA. And
that like fucking demon Nightcrawler, whoever the hell he was.
Azazel. He's actually Nightcrawler's dad in the comics.
Oh god, he is, isn't he?
Yeah. I'm just like, wait, how'd they kill him? Did they like catch him taking a nap? Was he like, I'm just gonna take a nap under this tree? And they were like, shh, sneak up very quietly on the red demon.
Somebody challenged him to a violin duel. And while he was playing, a sentinel shot him.
They were fiddles.
Isn't the only difference between a fiddle and a violin the way you play it?
Shut the fuck up, Mike. So that's Days of Future Past. We'll talk more about that when you see it.
So we'll talk more about that in 3 months.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I personally thought it was really good. Mike, where do you want to go from here? We've got Batman stuff to talk about. You finally saw Spider-Man?
I saw Spider-Man and Godzilla.
I did not see Godzilla. I debated going to see it today, but no.
Spider-Man, I think, is getting kind of an unfair ass-kicking.
I think you'll wind up agreeing with me. I stand by my original statement, which is there's 3 movies, and one of them is really good.
Well, I don't know that there's 3 in there.
There's close.
There's close to 3. They started
2.5.
They started a third movie.
They started a third movie, and then they went, "Oh, we're actually doing a third movie? Well, we'll just do the rest of this later."
Yeah, when everyone was like, "Oh, they have too many villains in it," and then it's like I was waiting for Rhino to have a whole fucking thing, but then when he was only there for like 5 minutes at the end, it's like, whatever, get over that.
I'm okay with that.
I did not like, however, that Peter seemed to get over Gwen's death, at least movie-wise, really quickly. Like, that's something that should have...
Timeline was they implied the passage of time. What was it, like 6 months?
Something like that, yeah. But, I mean, just for, like...
Yeah, that was a
central
resolution.
A central character dies, and then we get, like, a 5-6 minute montage of sad Peter, and then he's over it. So,
sad Peter.
It's like, it didn't seem to me like it affected him that much, because he's like, I'm sad. Put on the costume, I'm back. Whatever.
I do agree. I kind of wish they had saved that resolution for the sequel.
Yeah. And they planted the seeds for Black Cat. Don't know that I like that.
Right.
Not that I don't like Black Cat, but if they're going to go with a Sinister Six movie, as they seem to be heading towards, they're going to have to introduce another 4 characters.
I'm really not going to introduce him. They're just going to go, Dr. Octopus, that's what we're going to call you. Put these arms on. You, old man, we'll call you Vulture? Here, put these wings on.
Like they're just drawing names out of a hat. I'm Vulture. Which one do I get the wings? Okay.
Can I be the Hawk? Vulture? Meh.
Who wrote these names down? Mysterio. I get a fishbowl? Fuck off.
You aren't actually supposed to be here. Who the fuck are you? Where are my fish?
So yeah, but I think it's getting shit on a little too much. I didn't mind the whole parent storyline. It wasn't necessary, but whatever, it was there. It didn't wreck the movie for me. Like other people, like, what was the whole bullshit with his parents? Rah, rah, rah. I was like, it was.
That's stuff they cut from the first movie. Because remember, it was all like hyped up in the trailers. Then when the movie came out, they were like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, but
I don't feel the movies need it. I don't feel Spider-Man needs a fucking science top secret body horror backstory involving his dad, but doesn't ruin it for me now.
That's also from Ultimate Spider-Man, isn't it? A lot of it?
Not really.
I mean, when I was reading it, I picked it up sort of in the middle of its original run,
Yeah.
and then stopped before it ended.
I mean, there was a little blur with his dad making Venom, but that's it, I think.
It's when I remember when Carnage showed up in there because he fucking had to. Jesus. That they kind of went into his father's experiments and how it was affecting Peter.
Can't wait to find out the Sinister Six fuse and become Venom. You know it's only a matter of time. Can't wait to see this Peter Parker do a fucking emo jazz dance. Suck it, Mary Jane!
Oh.
Who are you dancing for? And it's just the spirit of Gwen Stacy. Yeah, oh, shit, right, sad.
Dancing with a ghost and then starts crying. So yeah.
Ghost of Dennis Leary, what did you think of that?
See, the first couple times it showed up, it was like, okay, I get what they're doing here. And then there was a long time. A very, very long time in between appearances. I had almost forgotten that was a thing.
He showed up like twice at the beginning, and you were like, I don't think people for some reason get what's going on there. A lot of people are confused by it. I don't get how or why.
People were confused by that?
I guess, because a lot of people are like, why is Dennis Leary there? And I'm like, really?
That was Gwen's dad. He said, stay away from Gwen, keep her out of danger, and then he's going against her father's dying wishes and dating her.
The alternative they could have done that is we could have got the traditional comic book Gwen Stacy monologue from Spider-Man. I'm very glad they showed restraint and just used the same 2 seconds of Dennis Leary looking angry 3 times.
But then it's like, by the time they did the last one, I had kind of forgotten that it was a thing.
Right.
And it was like, wait, why is he... Oh, right, he has flashes of him, right.
Oh, right. Oh, she's dead.
Yeah.
Did you find the death noise as unsettling as I mentioned it was?
Yeah. Not the noise, just the visual of her smacking the ground was... It's like, damn!
Like a whole theater going, oh... Like, you could tell everyone in the theater was like, oh, this is happening, isn't it?
There were only 4 people in the theater when I went, so... I went in the middle of a Friday, so a lot of people were at work, but also, like, the movie's been out for a couple weeks. There was, like, an old couple that were sitting, like, in the 3rd fucking row, and then Matt and I sat up towards the back where we could make snarky comments about it. But yeah, didn't think it's as awful as a lot of people are saying it is. Of course, fucking nerds, they have to say everything's awful.
Yeah. So now a lot of people
are
giving...
podcast.
A lot of people are giving the portrayal of the Green Goblin a lot of shit. I personally was way more invested in that than the Elektra bullshit. I thought that fight was way more, at least visually, interesting than the fucking video game dodge the pull from Elektra bullshit.
I think they did a good job of introducing the character. I like that it's sort of a little bit like the original, in that it's some weird monster-looking thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it wasn't all flight suit.
Glad he wasn't wearing that Power Ranger costume.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I liked the way they went with it. It was, again, sort of hokey with the whole science experiment gone wrong. But it was what it was, and that is this incarnation of Green Goblin. That's another thing that people just don't seem to be able to get around.
Yeah.
That it's like, these are movies and they're different, and this is just this universe's version of it. It doesn't change the version that you like from the comics, it just makes it a different one.
Right.
So I liked it. I really, really enjoyed it. And Godzilla, I also really enjoyed. I also think fans are getting a little up in arms over that
No.
unfairly.
Not the fans.
The one problem that I do have with it, without spoiling too much, I mean, there's not a whole lot to spoil. It's not like there's a big twist in it.
Did he step on a building?
But
Was it Sunday? Were those buildings empty?
it's like it kind of skipped over the introduction of Godzilla and
Really?
went straight into what felt almost like a Godzilla sequel. Because it's like they're sort of building up that there's this creature underground and everything, and then it turns out to not be Godzilla, and you have these two other monsters, and then Godzilla shows up, and then they have the monster fight, and it's like, wait, what? No, his name is in the title. Shouldn't he be the first monster that we meet? But no, we meet like two other monsters before he shows up.
Are the other two different Godzilla monsters, or
They're new creatures.
what?
Godzilla in this version is no.
You know, a
longer,
Jaeger never would have let it get this far.
Godzilla is no longer a creature formed out of nuclear testing.
Yeah.
In this, he is an ancient creature from when the planet was like brand new and very radioactive, that has been dormant towards the core of the Earth, where it is the most radioactive, just sort of absorbing energy, and the bombs sort of woke it up.
Uh-huh.
And so are these other creatures, and it's sort of a I guess it's sort of a like climate change commentary, in that it's a whole thing about man thinks that nature is within its power, but it's not. Because these other creatures are also from that era, and the whole thing is that like these creatures exist, and they're like parasites, and Godzilla's race of creatures exists to eat these things, kind of a food chain type of thing. They're symbiotic in that way. So now that these things are out, Godzilla needs to come out and restore balance, as it were.
Yay.
It's actually really good. A lot of people in it. A lot? Like the first like 45 minutes is all like human storyline.
Right.
But again, like I mentioned that to Matt, who's more into those giant monster movies than I ever was, and he's like, "Yeah, but go back and watch like some original Godzilla. There is a lot of human before the monsters start fighting. It's not all like the Destroy All Monsters video game where it's like, here's Godzilla, here's another thing, and they're going to destroy the city."
Right.
So I enjoyed it.
That's 2 movies this summer you've enjoyed. Nope, 3, because you liked Winter Soldier.
I did. I expected to like Winter Soldier. I did not expect to like Godzilla, and I was sort of indifferent on Spider-Man.
Can't wait to see how you feel about Days of Future Past.
I'll probably end up liking it because I'm expecting an entire shitstorm.
It's not. It's nowhere near as, the Quicksilver stuff isn't nearly as annoying as I was expecting it to be, too, because, again, he's kind of in the movie and then gone. They're, well, bye. They use him to get Magneto out of jail, and then they go, well, thanks.
They had a much larger role planned for him, but then they saw the Avengers version of Quicksilver and was like, we're just gonna not.
Or they saw the porn version of Quicksilver. Oh.
Even Axel Braun's version is killing ours. Can we not?
Brian, please! No, he must wear a polyester jacket and a wig.
So yeah, what else? We said something on Twitter, and you started a rant and said, no, we'll save it for the podcast. It had something to do with the...
Was it about the name of Batman and Batman vs. Superman?
I think so. Let's see here. I said something. Here it is. I found it.
Oh, you said something. Oh, that, okay.
I said a thing. No, you said, by the way,
said a thing.
Batman vs. Superman title is fucking god-awful, especially when you have a winning title like World's Finest already. I said kind of gives it a cheesy monster movie feel. Said Batman/Superman would have gotten the point across just as well. It's the need to ham-fistedly shove this. No, wait, fuck, this is podcast talk here.
Oh, yeah. So, for those of you who aren't paying attention, good job. Don't pay attention to this movie. Batman vs. Superman, they announced a few years ago. They didn't say what the name of the movie was going to be. They just went, Batman vs. Superman. And everybody kind of thought that was going to be the movie. They did confirm the other day with the logo and title reveal and all that. It's Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice.
Dawn of Justice. There's already so many great DC Comics titles that could have gone with this. Batman Superman would have been great. Batman Superman, The World's Finest. The Brave and the Bold would have even worked.
I with
Yeah,
the fact
yeah,
that the
yeah,
cartoon show just came out like a couple years ago, and it was like really super cheesy.
yeah,
I don't know that it would go over as a serious superhero movie.
yeah. Dawn of Justice is because of this fucking ridiculous need to rush to a Justice League movie.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I also said I'm really looking forward to Man of Steel 3, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice 2, Justice League in a few years.
That's kind of like when they gave Captain America the whole first Avenger title.
Yeah.
It's like, it's sort of like, hey, guess what's coming up?
The crazy thing about that is they originally called it The First Avenger, and Captain America was the subtitle. And then, like, 6 months before release, they were like, hey, we're going to kind of flop those around.
Flip-flop that.
We realized that's a bad idea. We're just going to switch these.
So, yeah, it's just...
It's a terrible title. Kevin Smith also confirmed, because, he had seen the costume months ago, and he was like, it's fucking awesome! I can't tell you what it looks like, though.
I did see that. When I did that Godzilla versus King Kong picture with Batman and Superman's heads photoshopped on them. When I was looking for pictures of the Batsuit, there was just a ton of articles about Kevin Smith says this and this about Batman. It's like, what the fuck does Kevin Smith have to do with any of it other than he's Ben Affleck's butt boy?
He's supposedly seen a color picture of the costume, and he confirmed it is black and gray and looks exactly like the costume from Dark Knight Returns. Can't wait to see the Joker snap his own neck and Batman fake his death at the end of this movie.
I wonder if they're gonna go all Frank Miller and Joker's gonna be that weird sort of upright in a leisure suit, incredibly broad-shouldered.
Well, I mean, are they gonna go all Frank Miller that era, or current Frank Miller?
Current Frank
Superman.
Miller, where everyone's just swearing and killing each other?
Superman, stop those whores!
It's can't wait until Batman paints himself yellow.
Oh, if they put that in the Justice League movie, I might actually get up and walk out of the theater. I just go, nope.
Well, at that point, I would be more invested, because then I would be in on them trolling us. It's okay, this is supposed to all be a joke. I get it now.
If you're listening to this, you don't know what we're talking about. All-Star Batman and Robin. This is back when the Homeworld had first started, because I remember that was one of the first reviews I wrote. And I remember telling you about that as I wrote it, and you were like, no, that didn't really happen.
Yeah, and then you showed me the page.
Batman is trying to get the upper hand on the Justice League. I can't really remember why. He calls out Green Lantern for a meeting, and when Green Lantern shows up, Batman and Robin are sitting in this room. They have painted the entire room and themselves yellow and are drinking lemonade. Because his weakness is yellow.
Weakness is yellow.
And then it's could this get any more over the top? So then Robin breaks Green Lantern's trachea. And Batman has to do a tracheotomy while covered in yellow paint. I take it back. I want to see that. As I'm saying it out loud, I'm just imagining Ben Affleck doing these things to Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Where they get to play Robin breaking Ryan Reynolds' trachea. Oh, God, it would be awesome. It would be the best superhero movie ever.
It's so weird. Why won't people hire us to write things for them?
I don't know. We couldn't do any worse than this Goyer motherfucker.
Oh, God, you saw where he's, on the shit list.
Oh, yeah.
The She-Hulk thing, which I admit, I just kind of saw David Goyer, She-Hulk porn star, and I was like, I'm not even going to read that article. Nope.
See, a lot of the things that people are upset about are not really what bothered me. It's he said that She-Hulk was created by a guy, and so she was just part of a sex fantasy, and alright, probably. But, it was when he was describing his version of a Martian Manhunter movie that would be pretty much any alien movie you've ever fucking seen, but then when he gets out of Area 51, mad that they experimented on him, he's really mad, and he goes and fucks She-Hulk, is his quote.
What?
Yeah, his whole thing was that Martian Manhunter would be an experiment from Area 51. He would get mad, escape, and then go fuck She-Hulk.
But that's
despite the fact that they're from two different universes, he was saying that he wants to see Martian Manhunter rape She-Hulk.
Hmm. Hmm. What happened, David Goyer?
It's like, yeah, the her being part of a sex fantasy, I can actually buy that. Martian Manhunter's origin being silly, okay. Uh,
It's no weirder than his existing origin.
and then yeah, gets into his movie where he wants to see Martian Manhunter rape She-Hulk. It's
Took kind of a hard left there,
yeah,
didn't we?
yeah, really did. And so it's like a lot of people are just getting on him about some of the other shit that he said.
This from the man who created the modern era trilogy that defines all cinema, the Blade trilogy.
I saw someone say something about I would care about what David S. Goyer said if I had any respect for him, and I was like, I know this guy's name. Why do I know this guy's name, and why do so many people give a shit about what he's saying? So I went and looked him up, and I was like, oh, Blade 2, Blade 3. Sort of worked on the story for the Dark Knight trilogy, but that's all Christopher Nolan anyway. So yeah, and now he's being the writer for. Yeah, great. The guy that wants to see She-Hulk getting raped is now writing Wonder Woman.
Would just like to again reiterate what I said all along.
Yes, exactly.
Your concern with this movie is not the casting, the premise, or any of that. It's that this creative team is the one making your Justice League movie.
Yes.
That is why your Justice League movie will never be as good as the Avengers.
Yeah. It's sad, because it probably could be a good movie if it wasn't being so goddamn rushed and...
Yeah. I mean, this is what I said. Everybody in the world knows who Batman and Superman is, and despite the insistence of the internet about the horrors of white straight males, the majority of the world knows who Wonder Woman is. Those are the only three characters DC gives even anything resembling a shit about. For as bad as it did, supposedly, I didn't think it was that bad. Green Lantern still happened. The Flash is being introduced on TV. Green Arrow's been introduced on TV. Why are we bothering making a Batman Superman? Just make a fucking Justice League movie.
It's like,
introduce these characters in your Justice League movie. Make a fucking Justice League movie, and if that takes off, then go do your solo pictures.
Although about
then go,
Wonder Woman...
Wonder Woman needs a movie, yes.
Yeah, she needs her own movie, because it's like everyone knows of Wonder Woman.
Right.
I don't think that everyone knows who she is. Like, everyone sort of knows Batman, parents died, became Batman. Superman from Krypton.
Batman sad became Batman.
Superman Krypton became Superman. I don't think a lot of people know Wonder Woman's origins, so she should have her own movie.
I'd agree with that. But they're trying to do this ridiculous bullshit where they just fucking shove everything into one movie and then go, here's your Justice League.
Yeah.
They should just skip that and just make a Justice League movie.
And if anyone motherfucker who was complaining about Spider-Man having too many villains doesn't say a word about them having 9 fucking superheroes in this next Superman-Batman movie.
There weren't too many villains in Spider-Man. I don't get that complaint. Harry wasn't really painted as a villain for the majority of the movie.
Yeah, it's like Green Goblin. I keep wanting to say Green Lantern. I've stumbled over Green Goblin 3 times now. I keep wanting to say Green Lantern. But yeah, he didn't show up until the very end. Fucking Rhino didn't show up till the very, very end. So
right.
Like it was Spider-Man versus Electro for most of it. So there wasn't too many villains. But yeah, if any of those motherfuckers doesn't say one word about how there are just every character to ever exist in the DC comic in this next fucking movie, you fucking hypocritical nerds.
That'd be a great name for this podcast, actually.
You fucking hypocritical nerds.
You hypocritical nerds. Damn it, why did we have that one 20 episodes ago?
I don't know, aren't we due for a reboot?
We're due for a reboot in 4 episodes anyways. Fuck it.
There we go.
Oh my god. What an exciting era for comic books we're about to go into.
Yeah, we've got the just throw everything on TV that's not worthy of a movie.
Throw everything that's worthy of a movie on the big screen.
Into one movie.
Into one movie.
Yeah. It just makes me so sad.
God, for what it's worth, I really sincerely hope that was the last we see of Bryan Singer's X-Men universe. I'd be perfectly content just ignoring that and going and doing like First Class for the sequels.
Didn't he direct First Class though?
No, Matthew Vaughn did. That's why First Class was so good. Bryan Singer wasn't there making a big fucking train wreck.
I thought that he had some hand in it.
No, he was. He left the franchise to go do Superman Returns and didn't come back
Produced
until.
by Bryan Singer.
Did he produce it?
Yes.
Huh.
I thought he had something to do with it.
I
Not
don't
like
think he had much to do with
not
it.
like producer really means anything. It's like he probably just
Yeah.
threw some money at it and said, "Go nuts." I thought he directed it, but no. They should definitely. They had an airtight reboot there. God damn it! I've said that so many times. They had a really, really good X-Men reboot that wasn't the Ballad of Sad Bastard Wolverine.
Oh, sad bastard Wolverine.
Yeah. I would also want to see more of that. More of the sort of period piece type stuff.
Yeah, I think the setting for First Class really set it apart.
It's like I'm interested to see where this Peggy Carter TV show goes.
Yes.
Because it's all going to take place in the 40s, right?
Right.
40s, 50s, somewhere in there.
Right. It'll be about the beginning of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right. So it's like I'm interested to see how that takes off. Because I'd like to see more stuff not in present day. A lot of comic book stuff makes more sense when it's not done in present day.
Right.
I wish that they would do Fantastic Four like that, but they're not, because...
Well, now, Ant-Man's going to have something like that. There's going to be an opening sequence in the 60s?
So he's going to have, like, some sort of acid trip where he thinks he's really small, and then...
No. The idea is
like,
that...
hang on a minute, that gives me an idea.
No, because the idea is you've got Michael Douglas cast as Hank Pym. And it's going to be him in the 60s as Ant-Man for the opening. Then it's going to cut to the present day, and it's going to revolve around likely Paul Rudd's character, whoever that is, stealing his gear and becoming Ant-Man and feuding.
So, well, again, still not really a period piece. It's
No.
starting that way, but then not doing it. But yeah, I think
In
that
many ways,
Fantastic
in
Four
many
would be
ways,
much
Days
better.
of Future Past is like the perfect period piece then, because there's nothing about it that's in present day.
It's all in the future and in the past.
It's in 73 and 23.
But no, Fantastic Four being like a space race picture would be so
That
much
would be
better
great,
than
yeah.
like, hey, I guess we got to go to space. What's that?
Say, those rays look really weird, Ben. We should probably steer towards them in our experimental spaceship.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I didn't hate the original Fantastic Four movies either, but they definitely were lacking.
I didn't either when I first saw them. Upon
I
second
haven't seen them
viewings,
since they came out, so yeah.
yeah, upon further viewings, their problems show up a lot more.
Right.
And yeah, they're not great movies.
Yeah. They're they're nice little popcorn flakes.
Even though I
watch 'em,
still get shit from all manner of nerd for defending the Galactus Cloud. You were like, but what the fuck? And then I'm like, there's no giant purple men in space. There's clouds of weird shit in space.
That would have looked so fucking terrible.
It would have.
Oh.
It's like, we know that there are clouds of some wonderful chemical that could probably destroy a planet floating out in space. I'm pretty sure we know that there are no giant purple men popping planets like cookies.
Oh, God. Can't wait till they try to do that train wreck again.
Hopefully they don't. I wish that we would just get creative teams on movies that wouldn't try to... Like, just because it was in a comic doesn't necessarily mean it needs to be a movie.
Right.
Or need a movie version of it. Galactus does not work in a movie.
He would, but it would have to be like an Avengers scale movie, you know? Like, it would have to be a big fucking movie.
I think, like, his whole concept and... he would definitely need a complete overhaul design-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that it translates to film.
None of these things translate to film well. It would need to be corrected and adapted. Probably as a giant radiation cloud.
Like they did.
Like they did.
The only way that I could see it working, and I guess they could actually fucking do this now, is whatever that rip in space was that Loki opened up. If he
Right.
came from there,
Different universe. Fantastic Four is not part of that, though.
it's not?
No, Fantastic Four is Fox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, then
that's why
never
they're
mind.
talking. That's why they're talking an X-Men Fantastic Four crossover at some point.
Oh, that's no, that's fine.
That's what everybody's paying to see.
That's lovely. Jesus.
But hey, Marvel got Daredevil back.
I would actually really like to see a reboot of Daredevil.
Well, you know they're doing the TV shows, right?
Yeah, but I want to see a movie.
I think we have said multiple times on here. That's another movie that gets a lot more shit than it deserves.
Oh, definitely. Especially
That's
like the director's cut is just a
Yeah.
really good movie. I think we've run out of stuff to talk about. We're just going, hey, remember that time? Remember that time we talked about that movie? Yeah, that was good.
Oh my
We're just
god.
kind of reiterating shit that we've said in other podcasts about movies, comic book movies.
So I will now continue to spoil the rest of Days of Future Past.
Continue.
Continue. I really spoiled all the good bits there. It's been a light week. It's a kind of fucking limbo week for us. There's no, like, video game news will start up in a few weeks. E3 is about to happen.
I'm not looking forward to that either.
Really?
I don't have any money, so it's like, hey, look at all these video games that you're never going to get to fucking play.
Look at all this shit you can't have. I almost bought a Wii U for Mario Kart 8, and then the closer it got to release, the more I was like, I don't give a shit.
Is there anything in Mario Kart 8 that's worth getting? Like, is it different than Mario Kart?
That's kind of what I said. Like, I've got Mario Kart Wii and Smash Brothers Brawl, and I don't really play them.
Yeah.
So why do I need a Wii U?
Even though, like, if they did anything better with the internet connectivity on the Wii U,
Yeah.
playing Mario Kart online is incredibly fun. So if they manage to up that, because the Wii's connectivity was garbage,
Right.
then it could actually really be a really solid online multiplayer game. Smash Brothers too, if it had any fucking online.
Oh, Smash Brothers. Yeah,
I hope Miyamoto finally got it through his fucking skull that online gaming is not just a fad that's going to go away.
I think they did. They're also doing DLC now.
Because, yeah, when the GameCube was, like, the only one of that generation to not have any sort of online connectivity, and he's like, that's a fad, it's gonna go away. It's like, you're a fucking crazy old man now.
Yeah. Mario Golf World Tour on the 3DS is the first sets of DLC for Nintendo. And they actually have a season pass for it.
What else? What is coming up? There's got to be something.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yes, what is that? I saw something about it.
Did you ever play Dynasty Warriors?
No.
Okay. Dynasty Warriors was a game where you played like a member of an ancient Chinese dynasty, and then
I've
like
seen stuff about it. I've just never.
okay, you never play. Okay, it's the people who did Dynasty Warriors did a Dynasty Warriors game with Zelda characters. I'm dead serious.
So it's gonna be like you're gonna be one guy. You're gonna walk into an area, and then a flood of shit is gonna hit you.
Pretty much.
It's going to be like Ocarina of Time when you're walking through the field and it becomes nighttime and all those goddamn skeletons come out. Only in high definition.
Oh, they're in HD, and you can see them on your little gamepad.
Yeah, I'm on Kotaku right now, and there is not a goddamn piece of news.
There's really not. It's kind of a slow period.
To show you how desperate I am to find some gaming news when I go to fucking Kotaku.
I'm gonna go to Kotaku and see what I can find.
Every time Matt links that, I'm like, why do you still go to that stupid site? Most of their news is like, hey, look at this girl dressed as a character with big titties.
They did, going back to my movie experience tonight, they showed a trailer for Age of Extinction, the new Transformers movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there for a while, I'm like kind of getting into it, because it's like the Transformers are being hunted by man, and they're trying to like recuperate after they've been almost hunted to extinction on Earth. I'm like, maybe this one's pretty good. And then Optimus Prime's like, we need a new army, and rides in on fucking Grimlock. And I'm like, never mind.
Yeah, when we went to see Godzilla, down the hallway there's a giant cardboard standee of Optimus riding Grimlock.
Yeah.
Fucking massive.
Yeah.
And I just look at it, and I'm shaking my head, and he's like, what? Like, what? Look at it! Jesus Christ.
I know I'm supposed to be like, that's the fucking coolest thing ever, but I'm really not.
Yeah, it's like they maybe we're outside of the demographic they're aiming towards. I can imagine that at a younger age, I would have said, look, he's a fucking robot riding a dinosaur!
Mom, buy me a ticket now!
Yeah, but now that I'm older, I'm just kind of like, really, a fucking robot riding a dinosaur?
Yeah.
So it's like, maybe we are just too old now.
Too old, too bitter, too broken.
Yeah.
Oh, Transformers. I still don't hate that first movie. It's not aging well at all, but it's better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, I still enjoy it. I still liked the second one. I thought that it was decent. A lot of people didn't like it, probably because it has nothing to do with Transformers. It's a completely different thing.
I didn't watch any of the sequels yet.
The third one was fucking awful.
I never heard... You're the first person I've heard say anything good about the second one.
It's like... It was sort of in the middle of the writer's strike. It's sort of like how I thought that the second season of Heroes was really, really good, because there was the writer's strike, and they kind of had to get through the shit.
Right.
They didn't have time for all the bullshit. So, it's like, in that sense, it seemed like a much more concise movie than 1 or 3. Like, he's a bad guy,
right.
Here's a good guy, let's watch him fight, because we got no writers. But 3 certainly made up for that, because it is about 2.5 hours of them talking about a fight that never fucking happens.
No, man.
Like, by the end of the movie, I'm like, alright, here we go, they're actually gonna finally get down to this fight, and then it's like, maybe 5 minutes of some pissing and moaning and hitting each other, and then it's over. Really?
Oh my god. That franchise. Ugh.
It's kind of like if you're having sex, and just as you're about to come, she pulls out and punches you in the balls.
What? Mike, have you had some bad experiences, buddy?
No, I'm just saying. Like, you get right there, and you're like, yes, here's what I've been working for, and then nope.
So there she was, just going down on me, and I was really enjoying it. Then she pulls out. Michael Bay jumps out of the closet, punches me in the
Yes,
dick.
Exactly. You're getting a blowjob, and Michael Bay kicks you in the balls.
Did he say anything? Yeah, he was like, more than meets the eye, motherfucker.
Him and his crazy hair jumped out of a closet and kicked.
He opened the door, and when he opened it, he was like... Oh, Michael Bay.
Alright, this is about 59 minutes in.
I think we did a great episode this week, Mike.
I think it started out better than its ending. We kind of burned through everything we had to talk about, and then we're like, so it's Thursday. Shit.
Mike, any final words to close us out with?
Have fun thinking about Michael Bay next time you're getting a blowjob. Keep your eye on the closet at all times. Because at any minute, he could jump out and kick you in the balls.
And remember, if you're thinking about Michael Bay while you're getting a blowjob, and then there's an explosion from your dick, does that make you maybe a little gay?
Also, don't talk about raping She-Hulk.
Please don't talk about rape. Please don't rape She-Hulk. Because she's played by China, and she will hurt you.
Let's just say, let's not talk about raping anybody. Just don't do that.
Yeah. Just assume if you're going to rape anybody that that person is China, and they will hurt you. Or just imagine it's China. That might be enough to dissuade you, actually. What? Don't rape people.
Don't rape.
Raping is bad.
Jesus Christ.
Good night, everybody. 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 Good night, everybody.